It's right here in the text. David said, I found myself in a horrible pit. That word horrible literally means I find myself in a noisy pit. Where we get our word tumult from, where we get our other word cistern from. Really, let me give it to you the way I know in the hood. David found himself in a ditch. Have I got a witness? If you really look at the word cistern, in those days, cisterns was a place where they hold prisoners. But it was also a place where they hold water that overflowed the town. So David didn't go to jail. David fell in a ditch full of water. And he got dirty. Look at David. Dirty situations may seem bad, but they're not so bad. Because we serve a God. Look at David. He said, even though I was in a horrible pit, the Lord placed me on the rock. That word rock literally means the Lord placed me on the loftiest rock, where we get our high-rise apartments from, the lofts. David is actually, he went from ground zero to the lofts. He was like the Jefferson. Y'all, thank God we got an apartment. We moved on up to an apartment in the sky. David said, y'all, I find myself being dirty, but thanks be unto God, he's able to lift me up. That's where I am. Every situation I've been dealing with. David said, y'all, the Lord picked me up. This is the shout news about the text. David is standing on the loftiest rock. But the Bible does not tell me that God took David home and cleaned him up.
I hear you.
You're going to get it in a minute. God takes David from a dirty dilemma, lifts him up on the loftiest rock. But David is still dirty. Let me tell you something. God elevates you. It don't matter how dirty you are. God has a way of elevating you to the next level. It don't matter what you did in the past. It don't matter what you're doing right now. God can still use you even if you're still dirty. Not only that, David said, even though I find myself in the ditch, the Lord established my goings. Which literally means the Lord had to arrange my feet. But if you look at the word going, it really means order. So if the Lord arranged my feet, he had to order my steps. So I won't go the way I used to go. So I won't say things I used to say. So I won't tell people off like I used to. It's not that you don't do it no more. You just don't do it as much. Because since you done hooked up with the Holy, God has got a hold of you, and your life has never been the same. I see it on board. I'm about to leave. It's one more thing in the text, and I told you I was going to be gone. David says, I found myself not to give up, but let the Lord stretch down. Then he said, I found myself in a dirty dilemma, but an upward deliverance. Thirdly and finally, and I'm done. There's a song behind my testimony. Verse 3 says, he put a new song in my mouth. When you look at the word song, it literally has the connotation that God's put a Thanksgiving song in my mouth. Let me tell you why. Look at the story of David, verse 1 through 2. God does 4 things for David. He stretched down. He stretched down. He got him out of dirty dilemma. Placed him on a rock. And he ordered his steps. Now, if God ain't done nothing for you, this ain't your shouting point. But for the rest of us who know God has been good to us, who know God has made a way for us, we all want to have a Thanksgiving song to sing in our heart. The song just may be, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. That may not be your song. Your song just may be a charge to keep our hands. I got a God to glorify. That just may not be your song. Your song just may be Mama said, I never would have made it without the Lord on my side. Your song just may be what the hymnologists wrote. If it had not been for the grace of God on my side, I should have been dead. I should have been sick. But thanks be unto God, I have something to be thankful for. We all know the story of John New. John New finds himself on the Mediterranean Sea. found. I was blind, but now I see. You ought to look at somebody and say, neighbor, I got a song behind the testimony. Not only do we see that, there's one more thing, and I'm done for real. I'm Baptist, so when I say I'm done, I'm not really done. Let me give you one more thing. David said, he put a Thanksgiving song in my heart, but he said many people will fear and have trust in the Lord. You know what that word fear really means? People will be in awe about what God has done in your life. Many people will be like, because they can't believe where you are now. Because, matter of fact, 10 years ago, you looked like a nightmare on Elm Street. But since God got a hold of you, you look like a miracle on 34. It's simply because you got a Thanksgiving song in your heart. People will be in awe. Here it is. We all know the story of Gabrielle Gifford. Gabrielle Gifford was standing on the corner of Tucson, Arizona at the Safeway supermarket. She was standing on the corner. A dude by the name of Jared Lee Lawler found himself killing 6 people. He killed a 6-year-old little girl. He killed 5 other mothers and fathers. But his target was Gabrielle Gifford. She was the councilwoman.